Hey you, how you doing? I hope everything's going well for you. I wanted to come on as I promised when I did my video, I think it was a week ago now, maybe Monday or Tuesday, to kind of give you an update on where I am with my bingo stuff and my horse racing and my other gaming things that I like to do. But first, I'm going to talk about, I think I'll talk about horse racing first. I'm a little hesitant because I'm not really sure. But I wanted to kind of bring everybody up to speed in case you didn't know. I am doing the Journey to the Kentucky Derby in honor of my mom who had a stroke a couple of years ago, and she is unable to continue with her horses. She played the horses for like 50 years, and I'm just trying to honor her by continuing what I know absolutely that she would do. Now, she used to go and play the horses every week. Friday and Saturdays was her day. And again, like I said, she did this for 50 years. I don't know if I can do that. So I just decided to focus on just the road to the Kentucky Derby. And as I get more familiar, I might add the Breeders' Cup series as well. I'm not really sure. I might even add some more stake races into it because that's the only way I can limit. And keep in mind, I am not an expert. I'm doing this purely for entertainment. There are plenty of other people that have the expertise and can tell you how they bet and how they, the horses, how the horse world actually works, how the betting strategies work. I'm not that person that you wanted to come to if you're looking for tips on what horses to play. I only know what I like and what I don't like, and there's no rhyme or reason to it. I just pick it out of the. I do use some strategies, but not a lot. I just tend to just kind of go with my gut. And there are some tools that I use too, just every once in a while, because my mom did teach me how to read the racing form to a point. Um, just enough to be dangerous, but not enough to master anything. But anyway, I had actually stopped doing racing for a while because after she had her stroke, I didn't have anybody to talk to about the racing, so it was kind of mute for me. Because no one else in my family are racing aficionados, so I didn't I didn't know who to talk to. And then I discovered YouTube, and I figured, wow, maybe this is a good way to try to connect with somebody. I don't know. But anyway, I wanted to give an update on where we are with the races that have already taken place. And I might be able to catch up with the race on um when is it? Let's see. The Lancome Stakes on January 17th at the fairgrounds, but I don't know. It all depends on my schedule and how things look. But I would give a brief recap of where things are as far as what horses that have actually won and the point system. I'll explain that as we get further along. I tried explaining it before, but I don't think my information was as accurate as I wanted it to be. So before I talk about that, I'm going to do a little bit more research and I'll come back and then I'll explain a little bit about betting and um, give you my what I think are my picks. I've kind of been moving slow about this too because at the beginning it's hard to determine which horse is going to be the front runners, especially when they first start. So I haven't really been putting forth an effort. And some of the other things I'm going to be talking about too is some history about the Kentucky Derby. Um, Look, I'm getting hot because I'm a little bit nervous. I have to figure out how to kind of calm myself down. Maybe I'll drink me a little bit of water. Uh, like I said, I'm nervous. I've never been in front of the camera before, so please bear with me. Mm. So let's get started. The races that have already taken place has been the Iroquois Stakes. That's Iroquois Stakes. And that was on September 13th. And that took place at Churchill Downs. And um, let's see who won that race. Let's see. I thought I was. Nope. Um, I kind of got smart with this and only picked the races that I was interested in talking about. Um, okay, here we go. So this was the, I'll make it bigger so I can see. This was the first race that was leading to the Breeders' Cup. And the winner of that race was Spice Runner. The jockey was Jose Ortiz, who is one of my favorite jockeys anyway. Um, and the purses you can see for that race was 107,000, and I'll have to figure out how it breaks down to what the trainer gets and what the jockey gets, but I'm not going to do that tonight. And uh Here's the lineup. It was Spice Runner, Comport, Voiced, Nothing Personal, Maximus Prime, Shake and Rattle, Nine Balls, Soul Special, Sometimes, and No More Sense. Wow, I read came last. Ooh, that meant his horse was not good because usually I read is he's up there with Jose, his brother, and Tyler Gaffleon. I mean, he's a great giant. I don't know how he ended up last. But anyway, I'm only mentioning all the horses because, like I said, this was the first race, and all of these horses can come back and compete again so that they can get their points up. Um, but we'll see. And I will put a chart together to see if there are any repeat horses and where they are, and you know, if they do run again, the point system I think goes up as you get closer towards the Kentucky Derby. I'm not really sure, but we'll find out. Anyway, that's that race. The next race is the Champion Stakes race. That was at Aqueduct. The first race was at Churchill Downs. I don't know if I mentioned that. The second race was the Champion Stakes, and that was at Aqueduct. And uh, let's see. Um, oh, there it is. Okay. Like I said, I'm still learning how to read these forms. And seventh race. Um, And oh, this is not what I'm looking for. Okay, Gillette. Let's see. This is what I'm looking for. Okay. Um. So this race, it was the champion stake race, and the winner of this particular race is Napoleon Solo with Joel Rosario. That is not surprising at all for me because I know how he rides. He's a great jockey, and Kendrick Camus, he actually um, rides at Aqueduct. He's out of New York. He's a good rider also. He was on Talking. So it doesn't surprise me. And then Universe, which is Christopher Elliott. I'm not familiar with him. So there's not much that I can say about him. But anyway, those are the winners of the stake race. And like I said, I'm going to try and put together a list and see if there are any repeats. And I don't see any repeats here yet. So um, I will keep going. I mean, there have been quite a few that I've missed. I'm sorry that I missed them, but it is what it is. Huh. Anyway, the next one is American Pharoah Steak Race. That one was at Santa Anita. That's my racetrack. Um, Hector Barrows won um, the steak race there, and JJ or Warren Hernandez, I know him by JJ, came second on Desert Gate. And again, I don't see a repeat horse. Intrepido, I've heard that horse's name before, but I'm not sure why. I have a tendency to pick up on names and information and tidbits and not really know where I got the information from. Short story. During the Kentucky Derby, when oh, what was the horse? Came 80 to 1. Rich Strike. When that horse was entered into the race, the only reason why I betted on that horse was because I knew the jockey. I knew Sonny Leon, and to this day, I don't remember what track I remember him being at. I just remember whenever I would bet at wherever track he was, I would lose my socks. I mean, I would lose my socks. So I knew him and I was familiar with him, and I just felt that, he would, I didn't think he was going to win, but I thought he was going to be in the top three for sure. So, like I said, just trivia tidbit that I learned, and I don't know why. But anyway, moving on. The next one was the Breeders' uh, Futurity. Uh, and that one, let's see, was at Keeneland. Um, that's one track I've wanted to go to. Also Churchill Downs, of course, obviously, but Keeneland is another track that I would love to visit one day. Um, just to say that I've been there. That one's also in Kentucky, I think. So I would love to go there. Okay, so in this race, Johnny V won. Oh, Spice Runner, he came second to last, but he's run again. Um, Johnny V, he's a Hall of Famer. He's definitely always going to be in the most of the time. He's going to be there. Um, Ted Nafi was the horse, and Blackout Time written by Christian Torres. Okay, short story about Christian Torres. My mom was a big fan of Christian. Um, that wasn't her main guy, but she really liked him a lot. And I refused to bet him. I don't know why. He just I don't know. It was just I just there were too many other jockeys that I liked better than Christian. And every time this boy would beat my behind, every single time, and my mom would just sit back and laugh because she thought it was funny. And it doesn't surprise me that he came second. Um, so I will keep an eye out for this horse, Blackout Time. If they don't change jockeys, because sometimes they do change the jockeys at the last minute. Okay. Next race is Street Sense. Um, Street Sense. That was at Churchill Downs, and let's see. Um, And right now, I'm only talking about who won and the jockeys and whether or not there were any repeats. I'm just, trying to get through this pretty quickly because I don't want to waste a lot of time focusing on this too much. Okay, so this is Luan. Now, Luan, I know him from, um, oh, one of my other favorite tracks, and I cannot think of the name of it right now, but as soon as I do, I will let you know. But I'm familiar with him because I do play this track quite a bit, and I don't know why the track is not coming in my head right now. He is a long shot jockey, and that's how I got introduced to him. He would bring those long shots in like nobody else could. And I made a lot of money off of him. James Graham, I think, I want to say he races at Laurel, but I'm not really sure. Dancing in Old Time. And Irad came in third with Search Party. So that was the lineup for, or that was the winning lineup for this particular race at Churchill Downs. Streets and Stakes. That was the name of this one. Okay, so the next one was the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. And um, oh, I don't have that one. I thought I did. My apologies. I'm not sure why I did not download this. But I will come back to that one. Oh, that's because that one didn't happen. That's why. Okay, so the next one is the Kentucky Jockey Club Stake. That one was at Churchill Downs. Um, and this one, let's see. Further Ado with Irad, winner, not surprising. Universe with Brian Hernandez. He won the Kentucky Derby last year, so that definitely doesn't surprise me. And Soldier in Diplomat with Tyler. I love Tyler. Tyler races mainly out of Gulfstream, I want to say. Um, but I'm not really sure because like I said, I haven't really been watching a lot of horse racing lately because I didn't have anybody to talk to. So I will get all caught up again and I will still think of the name because for some reason I have Tampa Bay in my head and I know that's not it. That's not it at all. So anyway, those are the top three horses that have won. And oh, Spice Runner ran again. He came dead last. Wow. He went from first to second to last to last. So I don't know what that horse is going to end up doing. The next one is Remsen Stakes at Aqueduct. And that was we're in December now, so we're getting close to the ones that raced recently. Um, So let's see. Um, Paladin was written by Pratt. Pratt's again amazing jockeys. These are amazing. He was out of New York and then he moved to Santa Anita. But I'm not sure if he's still in Santa Anita or if he's gone back to New York. Um, I have not stayed caught up, but like I said, as I go through this more and as I now have someone to talk to, I will get back up to speed on where we are. Okay. Oh, I didn't even talk about this one. I just closed it. I saw Flavian Pratt and I just shut it down. Okay. So, uh, Pratt, he was on Paladin, Renegade again. I read Ortiz, Balboa, Ricardo Santana. Again, I think he runs also out of New York. Um, Not really sure. And I think he does. And then courting with Johnny V again. He came fourth. So that was the lineup, the winning lineup there. The next one is Jerome Stakes. Oh no 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 no. Sorry, that wasn't the next one. The next one was Los Alamitos um, Stake Race. That was right before Christmas. Um, let's see. Uh, oops. And this was out of LA. As long as I lived in LA, I've never been to this. I went to this racetrack once, and I'm not a big fan of it because mainly it's quarter horses. This was, I think, was a special weekend that they had to do thoroughbred racing there. So I don't tend to um, frequent this racetrack at all. So, um, litmus test with JJ on it. Um, he won blacksmith with Kimura. Um, he's out of Canada. And again, the name of the track is escaping me. I will figure it out at the end after I've finished talking about these races. And Provenance with Cal Fry. He's from Santa Anita. Um, I got it and then I lost it again. The name of the track in Canada. I don't know why it's escaping me. But anyway, like I said, I will figure it out. The next race is Gunrunner Stakes, and that was at the fairgrounds. Um, and to be perfectly honest, I have no idea where the fairgrounds is. Um, I'm not really sure. I don't think I've ever really knew, but I've heard of the fairgrounds. But anyway, this race, Paco. Paco is one of the jockeys that travels around and around. I don't think he has a real home because you can find him at the big tracks, and then you can find him at the small tracks like parks. I mean, when I say small, I don't mean small in size. What I mean is they're not what I consider a tier one. racing track, and I might be saying the words incorrectly or using the wrong term, but that's the only thing I can think of. So, um, Woodbine, that's the name of the racetrack in Canada. Woodbine. I'm still trying to think of the name where Luan races. Um, and it's like I said, it's one of my favorite tracks that I love to bet. And again, I closed it without talking about the races. And I'm not really giving a lot of detail about it because I'm trying to put it up big enough and where you can see um, the distance and the age of the horses, um, the pricing and all that. You can see all that. So I just didn't want to be redundant. So the first one was Chip Honcho, written by Paco. Liberty National, written by Brian. We talked about Brian already. Crown the Buckeye, which was written by Jareth. He rides out of Laurel. Um, so I'm familiar with him. Or at least I think it's Jareth. I'm not really sure now because I'm almost certain, but anyway, he came in third. So far, I haven't said any other horse that have been in the top three that have raced so far. So it looks like the field is still wide open. Remington Spring out of Remington Park. And for some reason, I thought they had closed down Remington Park. I might be thinking of a different racetrack, but yeah, for some reason, I honestly thought that they had closed down um, Remington Park. I'm glad to see that it's still open. Uh, but anyway, um, let's see. So, Express Kid, written by Jose Alvarez. I know the name, but I don't know what track he's at. Um, Arctic Beast, Ricardo Santana. We talked about him. And Royal American, David Cabrera. He, I believe, used to race at the same track with Luan. I'm not sure if he's still there or if he's at Churchill Downs or Laurel now, but I'm not really sure. But at any rate, I do know who he is, and um, I think he got hurt for a while. And if he did, I'm glad to see that he's back riding again. But anyway, that's the number four, Richard Armia. He's new to me. I don't know that jockey at all. But anyway, so that's it for that race. Christopher Elliott. I'm still thinking about Christopher Elliott. Okay, so the next race was Smarty Jones. And let's see, Smarty Jones. Uh, okay. Um, so in this race, okay, strategic risk. Javier Castellano, he's another good jockey. Javier is another one that gets around too. I don't remember where his home track is. Um, but he's a good jockey. Silent Tactic, Jaime Torres. I know his name, but I don't know very much about him. Baytown Dreamer, Orlando Buca Chica. I'm sorry if I'm butchering his name. Um, I don't know if I know him either. So it's good to know that there are new jockeys out there. I don't think I've actually really paid attention. My mom had her stroke in the first quarter of 2023, and we're in 2026 now. So that's been about 3 years. Every once in a while, I do play, like I said, I consistently play the Kentucky Derby, the Preakness, and the Belmont Stakes, but that's about it. That's all I've done. And but this is something new, and I didn't realize I didn't know very much about the Kentucky Derby. So this is really interesting to me that I'm learning all of this information. Okay, and the last race that just happened last Saturday was at Aqueduct, and that was the Jeremy Stake race. And let's see. Yeah, Jeremy Stake race, My World with Jaime Rodriguez. Uh, Balboa, that's another horse that I read, but Manny Franco was not on that horse. There was a different jockey on that horse. I don't remember who now, but Manny, he's out of New York, and he's a great jockey as well. Been talking a lot. Mm, excuse me. And Enforce Agenda, which is Pratt. Oh, Dexter. Dexter Haddock. He's a Parks jockey. We were talking about Parks, and Dexter rides out of Parks. I'm really surprised to see him here, but I'm not, because he's another jockey that's a long. If you give him a long sharp horse, he will bring that horse in. That's how I got introduced to him, because he would kick my butt for a while, and then I learned he's a very good jockey. I don't play him if he's a favorite, because he ain't gonna make me no money. But anyway, so that's Dexter. And that is the last stake race that was part of the Kentucky Derby um, journey. Now, I am looking forward to the next few races coming up. Oh, I did not talk about the international races. I don't think I have their information, but I will briefly talk about them. So there was, let's see, I think I have some information, or I might have to talk about the international ones the next time I go live. Um, they had the Beresford Stake race that was in Europe or England. They also had the Royal Lodge Stake in Newmark, again in England. And then they had the Prix Jean Luc race at Longchamp in France. Um, they also had November 25th. They also had a race, Cattleya Stakes in Tokyo. They had another race on the 17th. I can Zen Neptune Nasai Shushan race in Japan. They also had a Futurity Trophy race in Doncaster. Um, And those are the only stake races, international stake races at Turfway Park. It is written right here. That's where Luan, that was the track that I've been trying to think the name of. Turfway Park, I enjoy betting there because it's so much fun and I can win some money playing at Turfway Park. I can win money at the others, but um, mm, I just like playing Turfway. That's another um, favorite track of mine. I've got a few, um, but that's all of the updates that I have as far as the next race is actually coming up on January 17th at Aqueduct. I'm sorry, at the fairgrounds on it's the Lancome Stake Race. Um yeah, there's not another. I'm looking at the schedule right now, and there's not another. That's the only stake race that's coming up um currently there. And then the 20, there's one, two, three, four races that are coming up on the 31st, January 31st. So um I am going to try my best to get on here before the races and kind of give a little bit of my pick on which horses I think might win. I don't know, but we'll see. But anyway, that is my recap of the horse racing. Now I'm going to switch over and I'm going to start talking about bingo because bingo is my other passion. I just haven't played bingo in a while because I have been in a different state. And the state that I'm currently in, they allow smoking, and it's just not an environment that I have been used to coming from California. Um, and I just don't really want to play there. I'll be going back to LA soon here, so I might get some bingo time in there. But I've been hearing a lot of people talking about the etiquettes and issues that are going on with bingo right now, and even the some of the pull tabs have been uh, compromised, because if you took a light and you put it up to the full, you could see who was what it became transparent. You could take your phone and I'm like, wow, I had no idea. And then there are people that are upset because some people are paying more pull tabs than others, and there's this whole drama going on about people trying to get more pull tabs, and trying to outbeat other players from getting pull tabs. I'm like, oh my God, it is. When I go, I'm so unobservant because when I go to play bingo, I go in, I sit down, I stay in my lane, I try to figure out what I'm doing in front of me so I don't pay attention to what goes on around me. I just listen to the caller, trying to figure out whether or not I hit bingo. So I don't pay attention to all of that unless it hits me and it's got to really slap me in the face before I sit back and say, oh, did you know this happened at bingo the other day? Now, I do know one time a girlfriend of mine and I went to a bingo place and we didn't understand the etiquette there. I got yelled at because I didn't understand the etiquette. But, I guess it was my fault because I should have figured it out before I got there. But, I didn't realize they were going to be any different from any other place. So, there's that. Um, I do have some things lined up for bingo. I'm not going to talk about it now because I have to wait until things get in place and then I will discuss it more. but I'm really hoping this opportunity comes to fruition, but we're waiting to see. Um, so I don't really have much of an update. I tried to play bingo while I was during the holidays while I was in Maryland, but I never got the opportunity to do that. So that was unfortunate, but not so much because I had my grandbaby with me, so I enjoy that much, much better. And lastly, I have not done any other cards. I haven't played, I haven't been to a casino to play cards because I don't know whether it's superstition or what, but I limit my gambling, my true gambling to Vegas. I don't care where I am. When I want to get my gamble on, I only do it in Vegas. And unfortunately, I haven't been able to travel to Vegas. I didn't really travel to Vegas but once last year. No, I take that back. I traveled twice last year. But I'm gonna try and rectify that and see if I can get some more playtime in. And hopefully I'll have some conversations about how I did. And in fact, I know I will be in Vegas the end of February because they got a bingo tournament that I plan on attending. So, I am actually looking forward to that. Um, but other than that, I don't know. So, wow, it's been 42 minutes and I have actually run out of things to talk about. I didn't want it to be this long. It ran a little bit longer than what I wanted. Um, but I am happy that I was able to come live. I know that I'm still trying to figure things out, and hopefully, I can get things laid out a little bit better than what I have right now. Um, but for a beginner, I guess it is what it is. But anyway, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful evening, and I look forward to talking to you again.